welcome to the Kame House Party. I'm Vince.
And I'm Aaron.
And this is the podcast where Aaron and I attempt to watch every episode of Dragon Ball from start to finish, all the way through.
From base to tip.
From base to tip. That's how we do it. That is a reference to a thing.
Started from the bottom. Now
we're here.
Slightly above the bottom.
Slightly off the floor.
Because we have hundreds of episodes left to go.
Yes. It's thousands, I'd say. But
I'm not going to count.
Because you can't?
Vince, is that how you start Get Improv?
Yes.
By
insulting the person that you're...
By adding a conflict?
Yeah, so I'm just, yes and conflict. That's how you do improv.
Well, let's solve this problem.
Okay.
Three people got this.
Today's episode is a bit special because we have some really, really fun, really cool guests on the podcast. We got some guests on the podcast. I'll let them introduce themselves.
I'm John.
What an honor.
That is
what an honor to get to introduce ourselves.
No,
guys, we've got
We've got Ian Herrin and John Shepard of the Ian Herrin Improv Half-Hour podcast. Let's give it up for those two.
Thank you. Oh my god, I had forgotten it was a live show until just now.
Yeah, that crowd is very quiet and discreet.
They're very respectful.
Here, let me just try something. Ian Herrin, John Shepard. Whoa, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense to me.
Bra.
Yeah, that's cool.
Did you hear those bras flying in?
Yeah, the bras flying all over.
That onomatopoeia was palpable.
So just to distinguish, this is Ian Herrin's voice, and that is...
John Shepard's voice.
That's not his real voice.
He changes it up a lot. He's on the run.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's true. Well, there's this guy who has a remarkably similar name to me who's trying to kiss me to death. It's a big thing. Don't worry about it.
You'll have to tune into the Ian Herrin Improv Half-Hour podcast to understand any bit of that.
Hey, that's a plug and a half right there.
Thank you so much.
Ian and John, you guys host and co-host this improv podcast. Can you tell our listeners a little bit about it?
Sure, yeah. I think I'm the most qualified here to talk about it. So basically, we have a different podcast. And
no, I think they got it.
Okay, cool. It's improv is on it. If any of your listeners are like, well, we like Dragon Ball, but we also like improv.
There's a Venn diagram there.
Yeah, you guys have a little improvisational fun here. So our podcast is mostly improv with very little to no Dragon Ball at all, and we have different guests on every episode. Different teams. We do have Vince on from time to time.
As a guest co-host, even sometimes replacing John when John is
when I'm doing more important things. Which is
sweeten that podcast pot.
Oh yeah,
to go listen.
Yeah,
yeah, you gotta go listen to hear me on something else.
The Legend of Bagger Vance is a regular improv team that Vince, John, and I all are on together. That's almost said those words correctly. And Legend of Bagger Vance comes on our podcast all the time to just goof around. We do like half of it's just goofing around and talking. Half around is a very serious improv set where we unpack the issues that are really at the core of society.
Yeah.
/ make poop jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting because it takes a lot to be able to do both, and I think we do it pretty well, like Meryl Streep type well,
So you've had Meryl Streep on the podcast?
We've had our Essence on, sure, like every episode.
Yeah. I would say every episode we're taking the essence of a celebrity, which just means like a personal affectation of theirs or something that they own.
Oh my god!
And we'll just wear it silently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I mean, if you're listening to this, if you're listening to the sound of my voice right now, you need to go check out this podcast because there's celebrity essences, there's improv, there's chatting about everything, and you guys cannot see this, but John and Ian are two handsome-ass dudes who are just really nice and kind, and they're funny, and you should listen to their podcast.
I was so happy John actually did legitimately say what the podcast is about that we do together, because that's the first time I've ever heard him actually acknowledge that
That's true.
the things that we do together.
Well, I like to treat, I don't know, I give the amount of respect that's due to the podcast that I'm on. So
Right.
I'm very respectful right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Your
And
arms
not
are
at all on
folded.
our own.
Wow, gosh, John, it must be so hard to to be on a podcast with such a negative Nancy and Ian over here.
You know, it's like you get used to it. You know, it's like family. What are you gonna do?
A lot of people don't know this, but Reagan's
I think you've had
deceased wife is often an essence
And
I embody.
that's it. Is often the essence.
It's often the essence I use on the podcast.
And-
if you just let
God.
me get the whole joke out, you could have laughed harder at it.
Yeah, he talks often about how much he wants to just have a war on drugs. He won't shut up about it. That's for all you '80s heads out there. That's gonna hit real hard.
Why can't you identify her as Nancy Reagan, but instead Reagan's wife?
Yeah, she's her own person.
Wow.
See, that's why I'm. You know what, Aaron? Thank you. That's usually what I do on the podcast. So I was dialing it back here.
Sick burns.
So if you're a
Sick burns.
sexist like me, go ahead and jump on iTunes and subscribe to Ian Herrin Improv Half-Hour, a safe place for men.
And if no.
The patriarchy is strong in this one.
And if you hate Homer's boss from The Simpsons, check out Aaron and Mai's podcast, Sick Burns.
Snaps all around. That was fantastic.
we discuss his many ailments in the show.
He never dies of it. He's like both like very very human and also simultaneously inhuman.
This is already the most committed I've seen John to being good on a podcast.
Wow. We'll have to have you on, Ian.
I can't wait.
Well, now that awkward spat is done,
So that's the dicking around portion of the
yeah,
podcast.
that is taking up all the dicking around. Because Aaron, you've got one of the harder jobs to do on this podcast, other than watch every episode of Dragon Ball.
That's not hard. That's a delight.
It is a
That is
delight, but it's a commitment.
It's an honor and a privilege.
Hey, I like the cut of your jib,
Thank you.
but I also like the cut of your 1 minute roundup.
Yeah. Bum bum bum.
Oh, that's a good.
Caliente. Partner.
Gosh.
Boom
they,
is-
they fell in line right away. I love those added sound
Did you guys get it? High noon?
Yeah, I got it.
High noon. See, it's a pun based.
I love Owen Wilson, Jackie Chan.
I thought
That's
about
Shang-
trying to do stoner voice.
That is
noon,
Shanghai
but
noon.
you
Yeah,
know.
it's Shanghai noon.
Most of what he said.
When's that clock starting, Vince?
Oh, well, that clock's about to start.
What?
And
You gotta-
what's about
hey.
to happen?
But Vince, what if this is the first time they're listening, and apologies if it is, but like, what the fuck's the 1 minute roundup? And why I gotta do it?
I was gonna get into that. I was gonna get into that. The
Vince, can we get a 10-second roundup at the 1 minute roundup?
10-second roundup, the 1 minute roundup. Ready, go. The 1 minute roundup, Aaron is going to describe everything that has happened in
7,
Dragon Ball
8,
up until this point. So
9.
he's going to give characters, plot, summary, everything. Analysis. He's going to write a dissertation about it in 1 minute.
If you combine all our 1 minute roundups, you do get a thesis statement.
It's
and,
true.
And can get your master's.
It's
Yes.
impressive. It's impressive. It's impressive. Because there's an intro and a conclusion somehow too to all of it.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
The last one we do, we'll start with in conclusion. All right.
So, do you want me to?
Yeah, I'm timing the show to make sure it's not
Yeah,
3
yeah.
hours.
Okay. Just tell me when you're ready.
Yeah, count me in.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
The basic premise of Dragon Ball is that there are 7 magic crystal balls that if you collect them all, you get any kind of fucking wish you want. So some teenager named Bulma kind of kidnaps a boy with a tail named Goku. They go off on an adventure and meet some desert bandits and some mutants who can shapeshift, and they fight a little goblin guy named Pilaf because he wants to use the balls to take over the world. They beat him up, and he doesn't do it. Then Goku's like, I want to get swole with a pervert named Roshi. And so he does so with his buddy named Krillin. They're on an island and they train hard. Then they enter the Tenkaichi tournament. Goku gets second place because his own master enters the tournament to teach him to be humble. The moon gets blowed up. Then Goku's like, well, one of those Dragon Balls was a memento from my grandpa, so I'm going to go find it. And he meets the Red Ribbon Army. He just beat up a guy named Colonel Silver. Now he's in the north. And he's going to go up Muscle Tower, that's the name of it, and try and get that ball.
Dang, Aaron.
Oh, that's what.
Damn,
okay.
girl.
Aaron, that was fucking fire.
Yeah,
I get it
forgot
now.
about the moon part. That was, I'm sure well
Everyone
covered.
forgot.
Everyone has forgotten about the moon part.
Yeah, that was.
But for those of you listening and heard that 1 minute roundup, but still have some questions, we encourage you to go back and listen to some of the old episodes to catch up. It's a great way to fill out your Dragon Ball knowledge so you can impress all those friends of yours that don't know as much as you.
Yeah,
so try it.
Everyone loves someone who interrupts a conversation with Dragon Ball trivia.
Yeah, honestly.
I heard you talking about the financial crisis, but all I want to say is that Bulma is a monster, okay? And I believe that she has kidnapped a child.
Yeah, it's true. They've taken a poll, and Chris Christie would have won if he had just interrupted Trump with Dragon Ball trivia as often as possible.
Only Christie. None of the other candidates.
Nobody else.
Well, what the thing is, Chris Christie actually he was running the numbers beforehand. He's an avid Dragon Ball fan. So
Ben Carson's clearly a fake geek girl, so
clearly.
for a couple reasons.
And that's the political segment of our podcast over.
Guys, sometimes it's hard to not mention. I try not to get political with my humor, but it's hard to not sometimes, you know.
Oh, we do it.
And I don't know how familiar some of our audience is if this is their first time. Aaron and I both watch two different versions of the show. Aaron watches the Japanese subtitled version. I watch the English dubbed version.
And John and I knew we were coming on the podcast, so we coordinated together.
Yeah, and we both watched the
dubbed version.
Well, can I say this, though? Because I don't know if you guys have just been watching on your respective websites the whole time, but I've watched almost all of the ones up to this point, and I started with the first 5 on Hulu, which give you the option of watching dubbed with the Japanese sub. So I watched the first 5 and got to see the inconsistency between the two, and it is
saw
insane.
both going simultaneously.
Oh,
I see
wow.
what you're saying.
Yeah, it's a worthy experience to get both.
We're impressed, John. Okay.
John, you get bonus points.
I wasn't trying to do that.
Yes, you were.
I was just excited.
You are
I like
so
the show.
impressive.
I like the show.
That's what we like.
Sorry.
That's what we like.
Okay,
John.
can I
I'm
show
sorry,
you?
I gotta turn my snark down.
Can I-
It's not conducive.
All right. Well, my nipples have Dragon Balls tattooed on them.
Oh,
I show
which
you those?
stars?
Well, the 4 because that's Gohan, and then 2 because I like the number 2.
What about the other nipple?
Second.
The third one,
Yeah,
7.
got it.
Is the nipple
God's
one
number.
of the stars?
No, they're the Dragon Ball.
Now
The
he's
stars
rethinking
in-
this whole decision.
God, I'm gonna have to call sweet ass Lou up and have him redo the whole thing.
Well, John is too prepared for this podcast. I would say I took the opposite approach. I watched just the episode I was told to and no more.
Yeah.
And then even the dubbing, I muted it and I just did that short form improv game dubbed sitcoms. So I provided all my own dialogue.
Oh, well, we'll
And
have to
I
get
have
into some of those lines
Yeah, I have
in a minute.
This episode was very sexual.
Ian, I saw what you thought the episode was, and that was just Fairly Odd Parents. So I don't know.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, that may have happened. Too.
I'm looking at Ian's notes, and there's just boobies. Just pictures of boobies he drew.
Oh well, you're looking at my you're looking at the notes I take while I coach improv teams. Let me flip to my actual notes. Okay, here we go. Yeah, flip. Paper. Okay, what do you think of these notes, Vince?
Ooh, more boobies.
Yeah, but bigger.
So the episode that we're talking about today is episode 36. Now, the titles may be different, so I'm going to start with the English version.
Yeah, you should.
Major Metallitron.
Say that one more time.
Major Metallitron?
That's correct.
Okay.
You're not wrong.
So what do you got over there?
The Terror of Muscle Tower.
Okay. Oh, I like that one better.
I hate any time Muscle Tower gets
It's not, yeah.
Yeah.
It's such a dumb
First
name.
off,
for
dumb
a
name.
tower.
Can we mention when the establishing shot of Muscle Tower because it looks like a hairy old dick. It's like a hairy.
Go ahead.
It does
Yeah,
not
go
look
ahead.
healthy. It doesn't look like a healthy
No,
one
it's
either.
not
All
Yeah.
with lots of little gray pubes poking out
Yeah, and
everywhere.
a lot of the close-up ones is like fine, I get it, but from far away, it definitely looks
Those
that way.
establishing shots.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if we have one, but John is
Oh,
not.
yeah, we're going to pull this up.
Yeah. Oh, I love Sano. Great.
Suno.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can.
So,
Because
like-
she lives in the snow. I get it.
The bit, I was like, This is a pretty good episode for guests to come on because they spend like 3 minutes recapping the past 2 episodes.
Yeah, there was a
that's
lot of recaps.
That's convenient.
I talked to Vince about this beforehand, but I those are the only 2 I missed. I've watched every episode up to this point except for the previous 2. So perfect. It's
So
perfect.
serendipity.
I realize it's not my episode, but in the recap, I love the moment where he puts on clothes and goes, "This feels great."
That's the beauty of Goku right there.
He just loves clothes. He's a simple man.
He loves
He's
clothes.
a simple man. He loves clothes.
It's the first time he's ever been given a coat of any kind.
I
That's
guess that's
true.
probably
Goku's
true.
never been cold before, and he's never seen snow.
He does look like a little Russian soldier in that outfit. Yeah.
So
That's a dick.
that's
It's a perforated dick.
Oh yeah, we're looking at the
It's
dude.
got something.
We're looking at Muscle Tower, which is now the new name for my own penis.
Talk about a terror.
And there is a little man with white hair in there.
There's a
little
robot.
There's a robot in there.
There's a Arnold Schwarzenegger robot.
So let's right off the bat, I don't know why they buried the lead. They should just call this Goku versus the Terminator.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's 100%
that
true.
would have been the perfect title.
I would have been they fan fictioned it up and they just went for it.
It seemed like they thought it was a slower reveal than it was.
Oh,
Because I
yeah.
thought he was Arnold Schwarzenegger the second I saw him.
Yeah.
And then they kept on doing these subtle hints that maybe he's the Terminator, like cutting his point of view. And then the last one, at some point, just the main bad guy goes, "Doesn't he understand he's a robot?" Just like in case the real dumb kids hadn't got it yet.
What?
I don't understand. Is he a robot or not? Because he has human skin and red eyes like humans do.
Well, Johnny, technically he's a cyborg because he has both robotic and human parts. But yeah, common nomenclature could be a robot.
Okay. So he's like that guy who was the governor once who got badmouthed by the president.
Jesse
Reagan?
Ventura.
End scene. Oh, this is more fun than I thought it was.
I know.
So I want to start by talking about kind of the opening with Snow standing in the doorway, just looking shell shocked. I said, "Did she have PTSD about what just happened?"
And
to-
also, real quick, is her name just Snow?
Yeah.
no,
okay.
it's Sue.
Snow.
I know it's
Snow,
Snow, but is it meant to sound like snow, or is that pure coincidence?
There's no way. There's no way that that's coincidence. If you knew the other, all the characters are named after underwear, tea, food dishes.
Yeah, mostly food.
Yeah.
I just didn't hear it in the recap, is why I'm confused. That was a dig.
Oh. Feel like we've established who our heel
That was
is.
my
in this
assumption.
episode.
Yeah.
I should also backtrack and say I'm not a sexist, by the way, because I realize I never undercut that, and a lot of people don't
guys,
know me.
You can believe him because I think, in my experience, anytime somebody says that I'm not a sexist,
a lot of women say I'm a sexist, and what I do is I talk over them and say, "No, you don't understand." No, I love and respect women. I think they're wonderful, and honestly, you should have more women on this podcast. It's a shame you haven't already. Okay, back to what we were talking about.
I don't think that you got
Now
any
I feel like we
sympathy
have to
points
address
back.
this. We can't just let it lie.
This all backfired. I'm a terrible person. Don't support my projects.
So getting off that sexist wagon and back on the.
Which, by the way, I forced back in. I just wanted to bring it back to that because it had
He
been
felt
on
like
my.
he
it
got
had
off too well in the first time, so he's like, "I better go get my licks in."
It really was a concern that was lingering with me of we didn't address the fact that I don't think those things.
I think everybody knew you were kidding.
All right, moving back to the stop. I hijack things and make them about me, and so let's try to not let that happen again.
Well, hey, I've been trying not to let it happen for 3 years. But,
I know, and it doesn't
have
work.
Not succeeded.
I really the podcast
Mom,
really started as the
Dad,
John Shepard half hour.
Fighting.
Right. This is not the.
Why did you schedule this podcast during their couples there?
It was the only time I could get them in a room
All right, that's
together.
fair.
Okay, I had to.
Thank you for mediating.
Okay, so Aaron, Vince tells us that you are a licensed therapist.
Yes.
Snow, I think, needs a therapist.
Okay.
She's seen a lot of shit go down the past 2 days.
I don't think all women need therapists. Okay.
Not all women. We can agree on.
Absolutely, we're all on board for that one.
So she see some dude. First of all, her dad got kidnapped. If
That's
I'm not
that's
mistaken.
not true yet.
Vince.
Yes,
It's
okay.
not,
Her dad was taken.
not confirmed.
Her dad was taken.
Spoiler.
Not confirmed.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
Men came in. a boy beat up a bunch of men after they shot up her house. I'd be traumatized.
Yeah, I would be too. But what I that was all leading up to this moment where mom comes out, who doesn't have a name yet. She's just mom. And she says, "Come inside. You'll catch your death out here." Is that a phrase that any of you have ever heard?
Yeah.
before?
That's a very
Yeah,
common phrase.
No, Vince, you're the odd man out.
Okay.
Okay,
Fine.
I am from the most south part of Georgia, and I have heard this phrase.
I'm from the Midwest.
I'm from the
Heard it.
southwest part of Tennessee.
Gosh, and I'm from Wilmington, Delaware. We don't say
Oh,
that.
that's nothing makes it there though.
Yeah, nothing makes it there. It just dies.
It's like-
once it gets to Pennsylvania or DC.
For just two quarters a day, you can send expressions to Delaware.
Yeah, well, they've been doing that for decades, and Joe Biden's just been sitting on them.
Yeah. He keeps them all in his
oh,
comments.
got
these
all the-
delicious sayings.
Get all the things. Oh.
Okay,
He eats
I'm
it.
glad I know I'm the weird one here because I had never heard "you'll catch your death out here."
Catch a death of cold.
Well,
yeah,
just I know your folks listen, and I'm not gonna defame their good name on the podcast. They have had to have said that to you at some point.
Nope. My
I
mom
don't
has never
believe
said
that.
My dad has never said "you'll catch your death out there." This is, "You'll catch a cold."
Yeah.
Boy, why aren't you wearing a heavier coat?
To be
It's winter.
Maybe you should have a talk with them.
Oh, okay. Well, in Illinois, boy, you better put on your coat is a very common thing too. I don't think my parents have ever said it. It's just it's made its way into my life via other people's parents, books, movies, school, whatever.
I feel like maybe it's an older expression because I feel like
Yeah.
it was a grandparents thing.
Yeah.
So maybe you just don't know enough old people.
Yeah.
I mean, I hang out with my mom a lot. Talk to her on the phone. She never said "you'll catch your death out there."
Maybe you need to have to talk with her. Why isn't she concerned about your death in the
I'm
car?
sorry. I gotta schedule
you
these
should
calls.
call her and say, "Grandma, we need to talk about." Or say, "Mom, we need to talk about something." I need to catch my death out there.
Is it mum and pop?
Just mom. Pop passed. But
Oh
yes.
well, I mean, I just meant the term. Not
Oh yeah.
whether they're alive. I'm sorry.
I
I'm
wanted
sorry
to
for
let
your
you know.
pop-pop's passing.
No, it's fine. He's been gone.
Was your mum responsible?
Oh God.
Someone get a dick joke in here quick. Stat.
Dicks? Yeah.
That tower looks like a dick. And we're back.
No, she was not responsible.
No, I didn't think she was. That was meant to be humor. And
She's a
it
tough
Why do
lady.
you have
dead
your
halt.
detective notebook out?
She's killed before.
You've donned a fedora.
Well, I thought I was looking at my detective notebook and I saw a bunch of boobs, and so I thought maybe.
So we're in Ian's apartment right now, and just to let you guys know, there are just boobs everywhere, all over the walls, the ceilings.
Tasteful boobs.
Yeah, some actually might be real. It's hard to tell. It's overwhelming.
It's like, you guys know John Doe's apartment from Seven? It's
It's that.
Well, thank you.
better,
You guys are welcome to my home.
lighting though. I don't want to besmirch the
it's very
apartment.
cinematic.
It's a very
in
nice
here.
apartment.
Yeah.
So we cut from Sinnoh to Goku landing on that first ledge of Muscle Tower. And then we hear General White over the PA system. And I had one note. I said, the PA system is pretty quiet. Like, it's... If I was
that
Goku,
was your observation?
Yeah, that was my observation. The PA system was quiet.
Turn the volume up on your TV.
I was gonna say that could just be a you thing. Just hit the
No,
volume.
no,
up.
my volume was all the way up in my headphones when I was listening.
Look, this again. I think this might be a Delaware thing because I don't know. Guys, back me up on this. But all the muscle towers in my town,
Yeah, real
had
quiet
really
PAs.
quiet PAs. Yeah.
They're just blasting left and right.
Yeah.
Well, no, just the reason I said that is because the observation I made at that time is why would you address the intruder? Why would you call out to the intruder and be like, "Hey, what's up? What are you doing? Hey, what's your deal?"
Come
Hey,
on in.
I feel like that's the last thing you do
See
when there's
that-
an intruder. You go into lockdown mode and you don't talk to that thing. You lock up.
Well, I think they thought he was a weak kid, as they often do in the show.
Right.
They were just like, "Oh,
He just beat up our armed guards outside. What a pushover.
yeah, exactly."
Sure. So I guess it's more of a point of negligence on their part, is my point. That was my observation.
That seems to be the theme of the Red Ribbon Army.
They're not-
Negligence on that.
Negligence.
I had forgotten about the Red Ribbon Army until this season. I was like, "Oh, all right, we're getting
Right?
into it." Yeah,
They kind of just show up.
yeah.
It's nice. I like getting to see the Red Ribbon Army.
And I know you said they're like a treasure hunter type. Are they also helping to fight cancer?
in some way, shape, or form, they might be.
That's it. They just go about doing it in a really assholey. That's what they want the Dragon Balls for, is to
It's
just
to
wish
wish
away
away
cancer forever.
Like-
but they're just real jerks. Like they shoot an antique store owner. They're not kind.
They build robots.
Yeah.
They build fighting robots.
They make fun of children, but it's all in the name of defeating cancer
That's
forever.
it. General Red's secret agenda is to rule the world by curing cancer. I want those Dragon Balls so I can cure cancer and rule the world.
Oh,
with
right.
kindness.
The terrible. Can we talk about the terrible accents that are rampant through the Red Army?
Oh yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna
sure.
get to that.
Okay,
Absolutely.
okay.
Oh
Do
wait,
you wanna-
those four guys.
Yeah,
there's the
those four
Irish.
guys.
Oh,
Well,
shit.
we have Irish, German, the ninja guy, and then.
What?
Well,
What
I-
voice did they give him?
Ninja Murasaki.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sure
we'll
it was
have to-
great. Actually, yours.
Yeah.
First of all, it's Master Sergeant Murasaki.
No,
and
it's
mine.
Ninja Murasaki.
Well,
in
that's
the dub.
disrespectful. I feel like.
Yeah. No, it definitely is. And then what was General White's accent? Was English maybe?
He's very Russian.
Some weird
Russian,
Russian.
Europe.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
there
well-
was of the four.
Okay,
of the- oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so like they just invite Goku in, like, hey, come through that door. He's like, cool, voice. And it's just four dudes waiting for him.
Yeah. They're off duty.
You're-
you know.
The funny thing is, one guy sees him come in and grabs his knife, but he zooms out and you can already see two guys presumably before Goku entered, who were just all ready to throw down. Yeah. Like they were just fists were in place and ready to go.
Well, they had
facing the
just
door.
had an argument, and it happened that they got to transfer that onto Goku. When
But
he
they were
came in.
facing the door.
So there's a Mohawk guy, there's a blonde gentleman with a pompadour, there's a sorry people in Pittsburgh, but this is what some of y'all look like. Just the guy in a hat with like the chin strap facial hair.
Yeah, perfect.
That's,
Pittsburgh, you're on notice, Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Dragon Ball's got Pittsburgh.
but then
Nailed it.
there's
We
a
got the
guy.
number for Pittsburgh.
There's a guy who's just red.
Oh yes,
He looks like Albert Brooks.
I didn't notice that.
Albert Brooks
Hold
from
on.
Ted-
Yeah, I want to see
Yeah, we're gonna
this.
watch this.
Yeah.
That's- all right.
So he's outside talking to the intercom currently. And there's Casey Jost lookalike. Nobody knows Casey Jost, but Google Casey Jost. He's a hilarious comedian in New York.
No.
Just the hair.
No, this does not look like Kate. Yeah, I know.
Just
Ian recognizes people by their hair solely. I've had this conversation with him many a time.
To me, hair makes the person.
All right, so Goku's finally going in. Oh my god, just get in there.
Oh, gee.
Lots of dialogue that were
I
muted.
don't know what I don't remember what he's saying. He's just
saying
he's screaming
just
everything.
get in here. Just
Come in, we got to move the plot forward.
So here's what I'm talking about. Okay, so cut away to these two. He turns the throw down, but then when they zoom out, you'll see those two were already facing and ready.
Okay,
See?
okay. But they just were maybe more alert. That guy's supposed to be. I didn't know he was just a red guy. I thought he was a light-skinned person.
Well, okay, so
Hold on.
So in this
wait,
world,
no,
this
I
is
think
African American.
Ruddy. I don't
well,
think
there are shades of African American.
Okay.
What indicates an African American person in this show?
Oh,
is
and I
the-
guess I shouldn't be saying
God,
African
very,
American.
very,
African,
the very
very-
disturbing lips.
Right.
Yeah.
but it would be African Japanese.
African Japanese.
Based off of like old, like terrible cartoons
Yeah.
from America
Oh,
in the
very bad.
1800s.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we skirt past that.
Okay.
But
All right,
yeah,
let's-
they did
it all in the
just just as racist of a stereotype of Pittsburgh.
Well,
so
what's,
it's-
what's cool about the Red Army though is it looks like it is all inclusive. They're animal people. I mean, they got a guy from Pittsburgh all the way.
now, which one's Albert Brooks?
I would say this gentleman here.
A little
Okay.
bit.
Okay.
I guess.
A little bit.
It's a stretch
Maybe in
for
some
me.
others. Like, let's keep going.
Okay.
Because this scene
No
is
one else
pretty-
comes out.
I wrote something down about what they say to him. They're like, "Oh, you startled us. We hate being startled."
Oh yeah, we don't like being startled.
Oh, those are the guys. That's the percentage of the population that hates being startled.
And they also think they're so funny.
Oh yeah, they love all the jokes they make. And they're just cool with admitting that they're going to kill a child.
Yeah, what?
That's the biggest part for me.
Direct quote. Hey boss, do you mind if we kill him?
I don't know if that made
He doesn't mind. Spoilers.
he does
doesn't
not.
long story short, folks.
Get approval.
Yeah, you just got to get
ask permission.
get supervisory approval.
You don't know because like maybe he would have been angry. They're just trying to cure.
I
cancer.
mean, good on him for asking because I think most people would be angry at you killing a child.
Hey, it's Red Ribbon Army. Sometimes you got to kill a kid to cure cancer.
because cancer it kills lots of kids. So
It does.
There's a
Cancer
tally.
kills lots of kids.
As long as we don't kill this many kids, we're justified.
And then I know it rolls on through here. I just really want to take a moment since I'm on the podcast today because they say jokingly in the episode, education is very important. But I want to take a moment to say sincerely, education is very important. And I don't think it's something to laugh about or something to be dismissed with a throwaway line in a TV show. Education is very important.
Well, this is actually, I think, the show that Betsy DeVos based her entire education plan on.
This is it?
Yeah, this is the episode. She just saw this episode. No, the lesson that you're referring to, Ian, is I think he was like, oh, we're going to teach him how to share.
Yeah, learn about
sharing. Because we're all going to share, taking turns pummeling you.
Yep.
Yeah.
But again, education is important. I can't say that.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. You're totally right. And take it from Ian, because he doesn't even know how to write. He actually, all of his letters are just boobs.
That's right. Well, I do know how to write in boobs, which is
it's a dead language.
It's a dead language.
Well, it's got at least a couple letters in there that I can use. Depending on the size I draw.
He can spell bait very well.
Dad.
Boo.
So I think this is a perfect time where we can hear some of the accent work in this episode.
Ooh.
Because at this point, I've got Ninja Morisaki. His name is Ninja Morisaki, not whatever.
Well, his title is fucking Master Sergeant.
So.
Come for this show? Don't kill it too quick. Yeah, it's important to learn about sharing, kids. So
there you
pay
go.
attention. This is how it works. You see, I'm gonna pummel you first.
Yeah, that's
I'll let
Pittsburgh.
the other guys have a turn.
Wow.
Very orgy-esque, too.
So I'll just let this run.
He has a blow-up doll mouth.
He does.
Why, you little brat, I'll pound you into mush.
What was that?
That's interesting because that's a Pittsburgh accent.
He says that before he passes out.
Wait. Okay. I gotta point out this great animation where it's a guy gets hit and they just kind of tilt the cell a little bit to the right.
So there's a theme
Your
in this
microphone
episode.
You can give it
the
a
other way,
minute to
Vince.
adjust your mic.
There's a theme in this episode with there's really goofy animation and equally goofy sound effects that may come up in this. Just like a lot of sproings, boings, and like cartoon animation. I had to say that because it comes up.
Can
a
I
little
ask
later.
about an animation trope that is, I see it regularly, but especially here it makes less sense to me. The idea that you run so fast that your background turns into like light beams behind you.
Speed
That's
lines, baby.
Japanese, yeah.
It's anime, baby.
But I guess it makes less sense to me in confined spaces. Because, wouldn't you be there by the time that you had time to see the light animation behind you? So, even in this little thing, the little boy runs halfway across a normal-sized room, and in that 5 seconds, his background turns to light. That
just shows how fast Goku is.
Goku
I don't know.
is
It took me out of it.
That was it for you.
I was really buying the reality up to that point.
We were almost there. We almost had it.
I was right there with him in the Dick Muscle Tower.
and then
And then
the
the
speed
light.
lines just took you out of it. All right, so we're gonna keep going.
Oh, I hit him. Where did he go?
Wait, what accent is that?
It's Australian.
I think it's.
I mean, Mohawk, yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It looks just like Mr. T.
Wait.
Oh, yeah, do you want to?
It's a hair
Oh, here's
callback.
some casual racism, yeah. I don't want to work at a place where there's TV, like...
starting to work up a sweat.
Oh yeah,
Closed circuit
pedophile
everywhere.
time.
Yeah, this coat's gotta go.
Did you see that? The way he vaporized like that. He's no normal boy. I think I'm beginning to understand how he was able to overpower Silver.
Just
So
to be clear,
bad,
not
so bad.
not vaping like we know today.
You don't think you can make it up here, do you?
Thank you for
That is
clarifying.
absolutely impossible, sir. No one has ever defeated the third floor guard, Major Metallitron.
God, I love
But
his...
if by some chance he makes it past him, I'll be waiting on the fourth floor. I guess that'll take care of him. I sure would enjoy a crack at the boy myself, though.
Then go down and do it.
I love the ninja's fishnet stocking shirt.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's got that fishnet shirt keeps him warm in that tower.
It must...
But it's very video gamey to me. This whole section is the whole show video gamey. I guess it is, right?
Not
'Cause it's
not
like-
quite. That's a good observation.
But it
This
does
one
feel like
specifically, I actually have in my notes like this. The tower is more like a boss
Yeah.
rush,
Right.
Yeah.
Like because it's just like he's gonna go up a level, fight somebody,
Yeah,
go up
and
another level,
and
and
setting
fight
up
somebody.
harder.
You
and
could
harder.
make your argument that the tournament from the season before was also video gaming, but in a little
that's
bit of a
kind of my
different way.
recollection of the show.
Yeah.
When I watched it, when I was
It goes in and out of that. I think that there's like they have like the crazy adventures, which are not at all. They're very like story driven, and then they have these like fights they sit in for a while.
But Aaron and Vince told us to never come for those episodes.
They said we will not get through that much with you guys.
We need a real loose plot.
Yeah,
They said we need a fighting episode for you
we
two.
need something Schwarzenegger based.
Absolutely.
Because of my age, I think of like it's like a game of death, Bruce Lee kind of thing.
The
going up
Raid,
pagoda,
maybe
yeah.
a more contemporary example.
Sure, young boy,
Yeah, I'm a baby.
young man.
I'm probably the youngest one in this room, aren't I?
Yes, I believe that's
Say
true.
your age. And
No. Recently,
65.
I'm 48. No, I'm 26, guys.
Oh yeah.
I'm a youngin. Goku has gotten up the stairs to fight Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yep.
And
In
it is
prime
just-
form, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Do you want to hear some of it?
let's play the describe game
Yes.
where we each take a turn describing an element of someone
Yes.
to the
All
audience.
right, hold on.
Okay.
I want to
Get
get
a-
this
get
shot
a-
of him sitting
Get
down.
a hot pick
Okay.
of Sergeant what's his name?
Major Metallitron.
Major Metallitron.
Is that good enough? You guys like that one?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
like that.
So, Ian,
all right,
why don't
we'll
you
go-
start?
Okay.
It's clockwise.
Batman gloves.
Okay, is my I go now? Okay, Marty McFly vest sans shirt.
Okay.
The most pronounced frown ever imaginable.
The darkest sunglasses you've ever seen. It's like staring into space.
Cargo pants.
Like God, the hair of like a gang member from I guess the era that it's made in, like the early '90s, late '80s for sure. Purple, spiky, it's all there.
just an elephantitis sized bald chin.
Absolutely. And on the size thing, he's generously like 6 to 10 times
He's
bigger
very
than Goku.
large.
Oh, yeah.
He's enormous.
The other way to describe him is watch the movie The Terminator.
Yes, you can just watch the Terminator.
So there's been recently a series of tweets trashing the current Man in the Oval, and I think just if you watch those, you get a good idea of what this character looks like.
Oh, sure. I was gonna say like it's like if the Terminator insisted on having lots of pockets.
Yes.
That's what I would
That's
say.
a good observation. There are many pockets on this
He's got a lot of stuff he's got to carry around.
And, well, from I think what I saw the rest of the episode, it appears that there's nothing in any of those pockets. He just wants to be prepared to find something really cool.
Sure.
that he's gonna treasure.
He
Yeah.
doesn't pull anything out of those pockets.
Yeah.
You're right, John.
Well, maybe
And,
he has useful things that are just not useful for fights. Maybe he's got like Kleenexes and lozenges.
I mean,
or
it is cold.
He's
So-
built maybe to just find all of the Dragon Balls himself and just
there you
store
go.
them up.
Various
One for each.
oils,
Yeah.
nuts, bolts.
At this point in the episode, it has not been revealed that Major Metallitron he's a robot. Okay? He's a
Oh
robot.
yeah, spoiler alert. We should have done a whole spoiler alert.
Spoiler
Yeah,
alert.
sorry, guys.
Spoiler after the fact. Spoiler alert. He's a robot. Okay. I want to take this opportunity to talk about what this episode means for the history of Dragon Ball. Specifically, one of the most famous sagas in Dragon Ball was the Android saga, right before the Cell saga.
Yes.
Major Metallitron is a prototype of Android 13.
Is that addressed at some point?
I don't think
Or
so.
you're
That's why I'm
saying,
addressing
you're
it now.
saying he is the Doctor made him.
Yes.
Ah, interesting.
Before he's the first prototype of
It could
the
be.
androids.
When do we meet that doctor?
We don't meet that doctor until
After Frieza.
it's after Frieza, but it's that in between saga between the Cell saga and
Yeah,
after Frieza.
I'm aware.
Yeah. So that's when we first meet the doctor, and he's been part of the Red Ribbon Army since like the beginning, right? They transplant his brain into that android.
Yes.
He makes androids 12, 13, 17, 18.
You're right. I forgot that they were part of the Red Ribbon
Yeah, how
Army.
about that? Yeah.
Wow, my universe is just the code's been changed.
I just tied it together,
Yeah.
baby. You know what that means, Aaron? That's canon, not Nick Cannon. It's true.
Drumline.
Hey, don't you fucking say drumline to me. Never say drumline to me.
Okay. Drumline?
Bitch, I'm getting... I will kill you. I will murder you.
Vince, get off the table.
I'll kill you.
Vince.
No, I'm not getting off the
Vince.
I'm not getting off the table.
No.
This is a very nice table, and we're in a
Get
guest
out of my
home.
Bowie knife.
John, get me out of this headlock.
No, John, I'm putting you in a headlock.
Oh my God. You can't see this, but Vince is putting John into his pocket.
I'm putting you in my pocket and I'm taking you for a walk.
Oh, wow, Vince, there's a lot of gold in your pocket.
John took his microphone into Vince's pocket.
Get that microphone out of my pocket.
So you can hear
bitch.
John perfectly well, but
Yeah,
Vince
this
is still...
fine.
I'm walking towards the door.
Wow. Oh, my God.
Meanwhile, Aaron has gotten scared and is a shell of himself.
I'm just a shell of myself.
And
see.
That's the great kind of stuff you can expect any episode on the Ian Herrin Improv Half-Hour or the John Shepard Improv 15 Minutes. Just vote, and maybe that'll exist, folks.
Ooh, there's a vote. John,
Yeah, just call Vince's number.
just call me at 1-800 VIN CENT.
Man, you got that number, man.
Yeah, I got that number.
You got that number.
Oh, I got that number. Speaking of who's got whose number, we'll just let this fight roll out, and then you all just call out what you see because there's a lot of.
Well, I did have a moment where I thought he was leaning Bane more than Terminator because there is some Bane in him as well.
What's
just in the veins?
I don't
type
know the voice they gave. Did they give him an Arnold voice?
Oh, you want to hear his voice?
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, guys. They all sound Japanese to me.
Oh, God.
That's not a criticism. That's just true.
Oh yes, this is the moment where I thought he was going to kick him, but instead he just landed on the shoulder and punched.
One punch.
He jumps
Goku's
down like he's
style.
clearly going to use his foot, but then nope, that's just a soft landing like a lily pad on his shoulder. So that the old fist.
How is he aware of what elevators do?
So yeah, it's kind of.
That's clearly a robot voice.
It's a robot
Arnold,
voice. Yeah.
very That's the Bane part, yeah, where the veins.
Oh,
go out.
okay. So I see.
So
what
when
you're
he's trying
talking
to
about.
squish, so it's when he's trying to squish Goku to death that I really think he's baning it up.
Okay, and
One
then
of my
we
favorite
get
parts is coming up.
Oh yeah, are you going to do what I think you're going to do?
Well, we'll see. Well, we gotta hear people fucking comment on the fight.
Yeah, there's a lot of commentary over this fight. It's got to happen soon.
Do it.
There.
Oh, you like the?
See, this is what I was talking about. There's so much like cartooniness in this episode. What we're seeing right now. Do you want to describe it, Aaron?
Sure. So Goku is being crushed by Major Metallitron.
There you go.
Oh shit. Okay. Major Metallitron. To the point where steam comes out of Goku's nose.
The previously referenced vaping is similar to this. Where
some would
he
say
just- yeah.
Goku is blowing
Nostril
out
vaping.
fat clouds.
Yeah.
Little
I would say
nimbuses,
that.
if you will.
Yeah.
Ripping that
R.I.P.
cotton.
R.I.P.
You know
Nimbus.
what's going on with Nimbus and Goku when the show's off, right? I'm just asking the important questions.
Well, he's dead, so who knows?
Yeah, he's
Nimbus is
Nimbus is dead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, John Nimbus
Did I miss
died.
that in the last 2 episodes?
Oh my God, John. This is really upsetting.
Guys,
I didn't want you to
why
find out
wouldn't you
this
tell me
way.
this off air?
We were waiting.
We thought you knew, John, but
I
Nimbus.
couldn't catch up.
No,
I have 2 episodes in it.
Colonel Silver.
But he's
He pulled
in
out
Dragon.
a rocket launcher. And
Just
That doesn't make sense. It's a cloud.
John.
The rocket can't be pure of heart. How could it hit the?
John, just find the Kleenexes in Vince's pocket. They're somewhere in there with you.
Yeah,
It's so dark in here.
no, there should
Feel
be
around,
there
feel
should be a
around.
light bright somewhere in there.
There's so many used condoms in here.
Those are mine.
Look, I'm just glad they're
That's
used.
way worse, Vince. For them to not be yours is way worse.
I'm just trying to clean up the city one condom at a time.
Oh my!
You should hear him. Ian and I take walks with Vince all the time, and every time he walks by a trash pile, he's like, "Ooh, another one." I think he has a collection.
Yeah.
I think also maybe before the fight, maybe I'm jumping the gun on this, but I think it's before the fight he announces to Goku, "You're dead." Like, not I'm gonna kill you, not like a threat, like a fact. Like,
Yes,
like
you're
like he doesn't understand what the difference is between living and dead.
Oh, I can't wait till we get to his celebration when he really thinks he's won.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's
so
exciting.
exciting. That's a tease for later in the podcast. If you want to hear, fast forward 10 minutes. Then we will talk about it.
at this point.
Fast forward an hour and a half on this podcast.
Yeah, so you can't see how long John and I can riff this shit.
Yeah, dude, we ripped the shit out of this shit.
Where are we?
Yeah, I've been going for 45 minutes.
Oh God.
That's fine. I know this is going to be a long go.
Yeah. John and I's intent was to make them never invite on other guests again. I think we're doing a good job. Yeah. Oh, I like this part too. He's still squeezing after Goku has clearly escaped because he's a dumb robot.
Yeah,
and so now he does kick, and it's to the stomach, and it hurts a lot.
And of course, throughout this entire fight, there is a ton of just General White and Ninja Morisaki just going,
Reacting.
yeah. He's not down yet, is he?
I know.
I will say the structural integrity of this building, though, is on point. Like nothing brings these walls down.
Well,
Muscle
they don't call
Tower.
it Muscle Tower for nothing.
Yeah,
That's right.
They don't call that Dick Muscle Tower.
Yeah.
So I think that was supposed to be the first subtle hint that he's a robot was the little red eye. But at this point, like we all know,
pretty subtle, yeah.
yeah.
It was a good idea to name it
subtle
Major Metallitron for like plant. Like they just, I don't know, they buried the lead there.
And just now we came to the what do we call this last time? The
Commercial break.
The commercial break.
So I watch this I try to watch every episode. I have watched every episode that I've seen. This rewatching with my roommate, and we always feel bad for Oolong, who can never keep the balls on the umbrella.
Oh, there's no need to feel bad for.
Well, we're just
rapist.
like we encourage
He's a
him.
serial rapist. And a
We
kidnapper.
always I guess I exaggerated. We always
He's no Balma though.
we
God,
always think he's going to get it this time. He never does.
But
really Charlie Brown in it.
Have you guys talked to Death about how stoned the dragon looks? Because that dragon looks super stoned.
oh, the dragon in
We
the
just-
logo.
Yeah,
I
It's
gave
not
Blue
the
Dragon.
same dragon.
No, it's not. That's not Shenron. It's some other.
It's his
Some
it's his
other-
black sheep cousin.
some other-
He gave him the job.
He's not even on Namek. That dude's like on some planet that just has plants inhabiting it.
Hey, Shenlong. I need
put these together and ask for sunlight?
No.
Hey, Shenlong. I need a place to crash for a few days. Don't mind if I stay on your couch.
Earth.
Okay, but I'm right at your door.
Aren't
Open
you
up.
like needed on your planet or something?
Has
Nah,
no
no one
one
needs me.
found your Dragon Balls yet, cuz?
No, I heard him real good. No one's gonna find him now. Now we hang out forever and ever.
You
Want some of this Kush?
No, I told you not while I'm working.
Where are the cool clubs at in your town, Shenron?
And scene.
And this is a perfect time for our very first ever commercial break on our
That's so funny. That's so
podcast.
weird because on my podcast we will do a commercial break, but oftentimes it's just like
that's
an
funny.
excuse for some kind of joke or something. That's not what you guys do.
Well,
is
no,
it?
I got a
Well,
call
here's the
from an
thing.
advertiser.
Oh my goodness! Oh, that's so
and
fortunate.
he wanted to just sell his product on the pod. He said, "I've heard this pod is jumping off. Like I want to
Vince,
get on the ground."
I wish you would have cleared this with me first, but I trust your judgment.
You trust me,
I know
right?
you wouldn't like. Look, we're we're an open book, full disclosure. We're not going to support any product that we 100% don't support ourselves.
And we want to make sure that all of our products align with our audience. So that's why I brought this guy on.
Okay.
Like that.
He's gonna just give us what he's got, and I'm excited for you guys to hear about this.
I always love seeing how advertising just works. It's just such a weird, ephemeral thing.
I wish there was a podcast about that.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh yeah, too bad.
So I'm gonna sit back and just let this happen.
Yeah, we're just gonna let he's here. Okay, hi.
Oh hell, that guy.
That thing in the corner.
He's shadowy, surprisingly, considering how bright it is in there.
I had thought that he was a hat rack.
No, you can come on over. Come on over. It's okay. Are you sure? Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, no, we got a mic set up. You can just come on up and then just give us your spiel, man. It's
Might
good to
have
see
the
you.
extra mic. Yeah.
Yeah, we got that extra mic set up. So go ahead.
Can I just go whenever?
Oh yeah, whenever you want.
All right. I'm going to get to it. Marie, if you're listening, I've changed. I know you deleted my number, and that restraining order you issued, it's sure a doozy. But you said I'd never change, and I have. Okay, look, I quit going to those child martial arts classes just to feel better about myself, and I put the Cheeto bags down. I honestly, your parents moved. I don't know. I didn't know how else to reach you, but I'm a different man. I've got hobbies now. Like I picked up the violin.
Hey, Todd. It's all well and good that you're reaching out to Marie,
Right.
but you said you were going to talk about the product that you're selling.
Yeah, what's with that bag of Sour Patch Kids?
All right. Well, I toss those out at homeless people. But what I'm really here just to promote. I carry that everywhere. I guess, sure, if you guys really want me to get to it. Marie, anytime you can just call, you can email Aaron or Vince and they'll put you in touch with me.
I don't think that's going to happen, but keep going.
I'm sure she's listening. She loves podcasts.
Vince, he paid money. Just be cool.
Sorry.
I really love listening to this, guys. I love Zoids. I'm so glad that you guys are having me on. So I'm gonna guess what I'm really trying to. I have a new recording device. It's like a mix between cassette tapes and like laser discs. So it's gonna be the new thing.
What do you call it?
I call it laser tapes.
Wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah, we've got everybody. We've got like Liam Neeson on board.
Oh my God, and there he is. Hey, Liam, can you come over to the mic for a second?
Don't take anything from me.
Wow.
First of all, hello. Thank you for being on the pod.
Wow. I'm sorry. I was awestruck for a minute. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, you sounded like one of the accents from the show.
I was wearing a mustache.
That's why we didn't recognize
Yeah.
you. Gosh.
It's very becoming.
Well, Vince, can I just take a moment and say the ads on my show are always so, first of all, painfully long and frivolous and unrelated to everything else that was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to say that it's so refreshing to be on a podcast that does a different kind of advertising that's really more supportive and in line with what you guys do and think and feel. And unfortunately, the ads on my show are nothing like that, and you'll never hear an ad like that on my show. But thank you for having a sincere, honest effort to really just promote the good words out there.
Hey, you know what? We do what we do for the fans,
And I was excited to meet Liam. It's too bad he disappeared in that puff of smoke.
Yeah,
but-
He really take two.
Were you going to say he really Gran Torino?
I was going to say he really Master Sergeant it out of
And I really love Gran Torino. I just gotta say,
he really went onto someone's porch, pretended like he was going to fire a gun, but then got shot himself, thereby convicting the person firing him.
he was like Jesus in that movie, huh, guys? Detroit seems like fun.
Thanks a lot, Todd. It's been great having you here.
Right.
Thanks.
And I guess so. Look for my product. I guess in just conclusion, I just want to say, Marie, you can reach me anytime. I haven't changed my number just in case. I've changed though.
Okay.
I even got rid of all the old T-shirts you didn't like.
You got a kung fu grip on the mic, Todd. Just let that go.
Marie, I missed you.
All right. Thanks, Todd.
Well, that's
He's
cool.
on the balcony.
John, you ate all of those Sour Pouch Kids. You were barely
I
able to
was
speak.
so hungry. I'm gonna crash really soon, so I don't think I could go for more than another hour and a half.
Okay.
But that was cool. I like what you guys do with the ads. You guys have it like a little bit more interactive. I always get tapes because I'm afraid if I bring the guys on.
You should get laser tapes next time.
Yeah, get some
Yeah.
of those laser
Yeah,
tapes.
you
That'd
think
be
so?
great. I hear the audio quality is
I
fantastic.
don't like having like tangible media really anymore.
Oh,
but-
okay.
No, well.
It's kind of-
Okay, so we're back to the tower, and I just want to acknowledge, for all the guns they have on that tower, nobody fired him. I don't think those guns were ever shot, were they?
No, they weren't. And I think in a couple of scenes you can kind of see like on the catwalk where the pods are for you to
Oh,
get
I was
in
going to say
and
where
fire
the runway
guns.
models are.
Yeah.
Well,
the
it
runway
seemed like
models.
he was kind of an ambush. Like they didn't expect Goku to come, and even when he did, they didn't really consider him a threat. So I kind of get that, but
That's fair. And poke holes in my poking.
yeah, it's my favorite thing to do.
And we're back to the fighting now, and there's punching, and Goku might lose. Will he though?
This is better commentary than what they have in the show. He is on fire.
This is like Mystery Science Theater, this podcast, right?
It's turning into it a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's gonna
So
end up being-
there's a bit where like Goku headbutts major robot person.
Major Robot Man.
Major Governor.
Yeah. He's
the
like,
shot.
what a hard face.
Okay,
aliens.
hold on.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did not see that the
Yeah,
first
but
time.
I don't know if this one was in there.
Yeah, there's
That's
a
so
little scan.
interesting. Yeah, so it's the robot's perspective, and this is where it's the now medium done people have probably figured out it's a robot because you can see it's the robot's perspective.
Absolutely. So, I really wanted to talk about this because up until this point, I mean, most Dragon Ball fans know that. Spoiler alert! If you don't want to know this, don't listen to what I was.
Shit, I didn't even
when
read
you,
this.
When you hear the beep,
Yeah, I didn't see
skip
this
forward.
Wait, would they have just skipped the beep?
No, they'll
and now
skip,
they're gonna hear
and
it?
so
they'll
later
skip
they're going to
ahead.
go back to hear the next beep.
Yeah.
Oh, so we have to do another one of those
We have to do
goddamn
another
things?
one when
We
we're
get
done.
to.
So
The system is flawed, but let's keep going.
this is from we get a shot from Major Metallitron's perspective, him analyzing Goku with his robot eyes. It says, "Look, aliens."
Metallitron is not known for his English speaking.
I don't-
Right. He says, "Look, aliens," and then it says,
Is that his system telling him, hey
I think
man,
that's
look,
his-
aliens?
I think that's his
Dude.
system identifying Goku as an alien.
His system is super chill. Look, aliens. Dude, interface 2037.
Okay, so it also says science inability to neutralize alien, unable to clarify.
Oh, interesting.
Except clarify is misspelled.
It's
Clarfy.
So it's Clarfy.
Clarfy.
Unable to
I'm
clarify.
upset. I'm upset at the amount of hyphens that are in this text scroll.
Absolutely.
It really bothers
Well, and
me.
then
it's
further
mostly
and
space-
enhancement are all one word.
I was gonna say
to
it's
this robot.
it's space-based hyphens, so it's just to fit it on the next line hyphens. It's not a bunch of hyphenated words.
Yeah.
No further enhance.
And
Cement.
Order 987 science officer eyes only.
Yeah, see, this is what makes me think that this android is the precursor to all the other androids in the Dragon Ball Z universe, because it says request enhancement, meaning that the robot understands to be an alien like Goku, he needs to be beefed up. He's got to get those add-ons. You know
That's
what
a
I'm
good
saying?
find.
needs that
Working
science
genitalia.
officer.
Working genitalia is one of those things.
That's
You got to be
one
able
of
to reproduce to be the Saiyan.
You've got to have free will because you got to understand like Krillin has a lot more beneath the skin.
Well, so based on that, is the science officer a character that's introduced later? We think.
Yeah, much
Yes.
later.
I believe in this context, the science officer is the is Spock.
That's for you, Vince.
Thank you. It's
connected
Yes,
worlds.
absolutely. The science officer in this case is the doctor that makes the androids.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
An
Which is
officer of
just
some
awesome
sort.
to me. Like I am just.
Yeah,
I was,
that's great.
When I caught that, I was like, I just found the precursor.
So wait.
No,
so,
this is a
so-
great find, Vince.
so
I
you-
don't even know if this popped up on the version I watched, but I didn't catch it.
You're under the assumption that they had the idea that the story was going this way all along. They planted an Easter egg way out in advance, as
Yeah.
opposed to the idea of they took a plot that they wanted to do and made old things into an Easter egg retroactively. Because I could see that happening too.
Either way, I am impressed.
No, I think it's a retroactive thing. I think they in Dragon Ball Z understand like that they have some things that could go back. Because aren't in Super they're talking about bringing back Pilaf? Or is Super started already? I don't know.
Super Pilaf isn't super.
Yeah, Pilaf
So I
was
love
in
that.
a couple of the movies too.
Oh.
Yeah,
In the ball or Z?
in the recent Z movies, where they fight Golden Frieza and
Well, I didn't know
Beerus.
that was a thing.
Yeah, you got to watch those.
I like their inability to let go of things.
So should
we-
we do the beep? And then Goku died.
Oh gosh, what an episode.
That's never a spoiler though, because he just always comes back.
Okay, so you
So here-
rejoined his post beep. His mouth was just open super big. Now he's shooting out a rocket. Rocket missile, yeah, sure.
What we're seeing is a heat-seeking missile being fired from Major Metallitron's mouth that is so powerful it shakes.
Okay.
Oh yes. I
So
forgot
you're
about this.
you're okay.
Yes.
You're a science officer. You're designing a giant robot.
Right. As science
Man,
officer.
I gotta put a rocket launcher in this thing. Where to put it?
I already finished building his fists.
Can't put it in his dick. He needs that.
Yeah, like
I didn't build that.
I didn't.
I kept that for myself.
I didn't perfect the butthole yet.
He's going to use all those pockets.
Well, a lesser science officer than myself would put him on the shoulders.
Just out willy nilly for all to see.
Gotta hide that thing somewhere. Ooh,
Boys.
right behind the uvula. How about that?
Now that's an idea. There's the ticket.
There we go.
Yeah,
that's
that's the
what
money melon.
differentiates us from all the other
Yeah,
androids
yeah.
in production.
God, we're gonna be the first scientists that General Red doesn't kill.
Damn right.
And scene.
Those men died 2 days later from unrelated circumstances.
that put his brain in the rope.
So it cuts to
You
after
get a
that
dead
explosion,
zone moment.
we see it cuts to Sano and Mom.
And she's shattered some milk.
For
Sorry, am I
whatever
cutting you
reason,
off?
there was a mug filled with milk.
Yeah, I
that
assume
just
milk.
fell from what I don't think it fell from a table. No. It's not like somebody was holding it and dropped it.
It did fall oddly.
It manifested itself to be broken.
Exactly.
As
Just for this
another-
scene.
Is she psychic?
Well, so
Are you
psychic?
Are you positing that Sano's
Because
mental
it seems like
abilities
a
awakened
very
that day?
like. Why are we cutting back to her? I don't give
It
a
didn't
fuck.
seem. It didn't seem. It was very not.
Besides,
I
like
think
we
to
got a fill
give-
of 30 seconds.
It felt like a twin connection type of
this
thing.
is what
And so I
okay.
wondered if it was another Easter egg towards something like that. Maybe Sano has a stronger connection to Goku than just a stranger who rescued him.
Just about everybody, I think, kind of has a callback later on in the series, except for maybe Sano. To my knowledge, we never see her again.
Well, we also never see Launch again.
Oh no, we see her. She comes back. I'm pretty sure she's back for. Okay, well, I'll have
gonna
to
have to
watch.
stand
That's for another.
tuned
You'll have
to
to come back
future
when we
episodes.
find
Yeah.
that episode.
Yeah,
of Kame
yeah,
House
Z.
Party.
In 5 years, come
I'm
back.
pretty sure she is, but I'm not positive. But it's a shame if she isn't. But like, I think my interpretation was they just wanted the kids that were watching this from Goku's perspective to have like the romantic aspect involved again, because they had left Chi-Chi behind. So.
Right.
I don't know. It's just otherwise she seems kind of, dare I say, pointless. I dare.
You dare. Dare. You dare.
Yeah, well, hey guys, come watch us live to understand what that
We
means.
have a friend whose name is Adair. That's
out.
the end of that joke.
Shout out to AK.
Her last name starts with a K.
Let's
I
not
don't,
give
I don't, I don't
that
want to.
out.
I was gonna
Let's
say I
not
don't want to
get-
give any more details about her.
No.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, everyone knows one Adair, so besides that, she will be hard to find.
Look for the one you don't know.
Also, I love that they get DirecTV in the muscle.
They do.
Well, that was
throw
from
that
that was
out,
from
too.
the last tenant.
That's
They didn't take it down yet.
They don't pay.
free direct TV.
Yeah. And so now there's a whole.
He's
segment
so
on-
excited about damage to his property.
Oh, this is the part.
Insurance, baby.
But this is the part I'm about to get excited to talk
yeah,
about.
We can get a. I want.
Yeah, I think we got to get the audio for this.
Oh, yeah.
What is? I don't remember this. So let's
Oh,
see.
yeah, it was probably.
I'm glad I didn't face him. Yes, this is the first time I've seen him fight seriously. Powerful stuff.
That was close.
Okay.
And the whole time, he's just positing a V sign
Yeah.
with his fingers towards the broken
And
hole.
by the way, we cut it off. It keeps going.
Yeah, no,
here's-
he doesn't say it 3 times.
What's that?
He continues to say.
Tongue out at me.
Flawless.
This is also what I say after every episode of the podcast John and I take.
This is what I say every time I leave the bathroom.
Victory.
I don't know, but oh well. As long as we're showing tricks. Hey!
Great timing with the pause button.
Okay, so
here-
he's
here-
lingering
here's
for
victory
him,
so
like,
much, yeah.
How long? Like
Oh,
15 seconds?
yeah, I would
More
say
than you
so.
need to say
More-
victory.
yeah.
It feels very much like robot racism.
He loves victory.
I'm just like,
Well, this
what,
show
what
is
do
known-
robots do? Repeat a bunch of shit?
Well, this show has been known to be a little bit insensitive when it comes to non-human persons. So
right.
Which is the
it's
correct.
on brand.
Which is the correct
Don't use
What
that
is
M
that?
word.
How do we explain? Is that just robots? Robots and aliens?
It involves beasts of kind.
Wait, but not humanoid, not like fox persons, right? Because they're people.
That's a mutant.
Well,
is
that's
what we
a mutant.
determined.
That is a
He's a
mutant is an
mutant.
acceptable term.
Well, so I think people are mutants, right? Aren't we? We're evolved from something else. So wouldn't a fox person just? All right. Well, let's not get into it.
We can't. We've gone deep into the classification of.
I've heard
made-up-ass
the discussion
cartoons.
about the Pluto Goofy of the the shoe and the wolves and all of that. Yeah, I understand. I think we can move on.
My favorite thing John Shepard does is have an idea he's passionate about at the first 4 words of the sentence, and then just trails off and completely abandons his own idea.
I think
but
it's
feels the
fun.
need to complete the sentence.
I feel like, because otherwise people just keep staring at me like, why haven't you finished the sentence?
That was a mini example of it right there.
Sometimes you say something out loud and you realize other people aren't as passionate as you.
So, guys,
Oh yes,
we get. The
calling
first
card.
time in a long time,
Those fists are
a
huge.
Kamehameha wave
Yeah.
from Goku.
now see, I thought this was like build that wall, like it's got to come out every episode.
Yeah, no, and especially in Dragon Ball it doesn't. But this is so, guys. When I was, did it? You
kind
guys
of
do?
fucked up and brutal.
It's
Yeah.
very
When he does
brutal.
that
Like there's
to a person- when
the
he thinks he's a
imagery
person?
that we see after that is just grotesque.
Yeah, he goes from head to no head, all from a light beam.
Cheese
Right.
grater chest
Yes,
Yep.
he's got a cheese grater chest,
or colander.
and just his head is gone.
He lost a pocket.
He
Well, and
lost one
Goku
pocket.
feels
his
remorse.
gums.
Yeah,
Gone.
Goku is actually upset.
Oh, yeah, he feels bad, yeah.
He's like, I just wanted
Oh,
to knock
but
him
also he
down with
doesn't-
my massive energy blast.
Right, but he also doesn't understand robots.
No.
Like
Exactly.
this is him.
Well, he doesn't.
finding out what a
Ian,
robot-
you are just coming in for this
Okay,
episode.
wait.
He feels everyone's genitals to understand what sex they are. Every time I forget about that, he does it again.
Oh, he does what I do.
I was gonna say, is that Ian or Goku?
Well, hey, tomato. I don't know about you guys, but did you I would pray to Jod that I could do power blast. I could do Kamehamehas when I was a kid. I don't know if you guys did this. And I would go outside on my front step and I would do it for all the neighbors to see. I don't know how old I was, but probably older than I should have been.
I would
when
do
was doing
that, but with flying and not Dragon Ball, I guess,
Okay.
related. But I would just run really fast and then jump and hope to fly.
Hey, that's a good start.
Thank you.
You understood the science of it.
But then you guys said we had to start recording the podcast, so I came in. I came
But
in.
John, I'm with you 100%. I was
Yeah,
that
I get it,
kid
though.
out on the playground, just putting my hands back behind me, going,
Yeah, sure.
Kame.
Yeah.
when you would stall it out, I feel like you'd have a better chance.
And then you're just like, nope.
I had
Because sometimes they'll go Kamehameha, but I was like, no, I got to do a slow one if I want it to happen.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
I do have a vague relation of also specifically playing Dragon Ball and just dressing up in bathrobes because that's what we thought would make us look like Dragon Ball
That's a
characters.
gi.
Because the gi, yeah. That's I don't know. You have to say if your kids keep doing the flying thing, then eventually a few generations down the road you will.
Yeah, it's
Be
true.
able to
Hey,
fly.
you never know.
That's how you became a mutant. So we see, I think one thing that we didn't know, that Goku was kind of religious in this scene because he knocks the head off and then he's like, he puts his hands together and prays,
Right.
like, you are the worthy opponent.
In my version, it's a word which I didn't write down or learn because I'm insensitive to other cultures. But in brackets, it said Buddhist chant.
Oh,
Like, that's good enough.
yeah, I think
Buddhist
that's
chant.
it. That's you got the gist of it.
It to me struck me as like he had a little bit of reverence for life that Gohan had imparted on him.
Oh, hey, that's pretty good. That's really good.
Yeah, guys, I like this show.
I'm glad, John. I'm glad you came on.
Thank you.
I'm glad you came
I'm
on.
glad I came on as well.
I'm really happy that you're here.
I'm just here for the boobs.
Which is very disturbing because
They're
the
coming
only
from
two
you,
female
yeah.
characters are a child and an old woman.
Take what you got.
A certain. Oh, I guess her mom.
Also, boobs is not a sex thing. Boobs, man have boobs.
man have
men have
boobs.
boobs.
Man have boobs.
Man have boobs.
Men have boobs.
Yeah.
Hashtag
Well, that's-
this episode, man have
Look
boobs.
So
at-
this was just for you to see my tattooed Dragon Ball nipples, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, again closer.
Look, aliens and man have boobs.
That bit didn't work the first time. I thought I'd bring it back.
After this, there's just a bunch more fighting.
Yeah, they do the will he, won't he get up thing a lot.
Yeah, it's a heavy
And
pattern.
Goku does not learn his lesson.
No, Goku doesn't understand. You
To the
gotta put
point
that-
where when
put that dude
Goku
down.
says he's annoying me, I was like, me too.
Which is one of the
A
rare
rocket
displays
punch.
of emotion from Goku. Usually it's just joy or anger, and then you actually see frustration. And yeah.
Or this is literally the moment. Also, the hands have flown off and are hurting him independently. So
Class.
Well, one
know.
one has.
one has. Excuse me.
We
How
don't.
dare I make that mistake?
Well, okay, you're
and
alienating
say
our
multiple
blind
hands.
listeners, Ian. Jeez.
I don't know how alienated that was to blind listeners, but I'll take the insult.
I mean, it's classic Japanese robot. A fist comes off.
The Trigun has one that does that too.
And so
you
now
guys were
both
Trigun fans.
Oh yeah, he has
I've
a
not
hand that
watched
turns
Trigun.
into a gun.
Ooh, that's the next podcast.
That's the next podcast.
That's a shorter series.
It
where you get
is.
through
Yeah.
it.
So basically, we'll cut to the end where Goku is so frustrated he decides he's going to rip a hole through this robot's heart with his head.
Yeah, at this point, he must have realized, like, at least the concept of robot, right? Like,
Well,
either that or he
no.
does not.
If he's going for the heart, I don't know if he does.
Oh yeah, well maybe.
He's
But
just-
then also, if the head's gone, like, what else? What's the next? Like, I guess it's somewhere in that cavity.
Goku's known to fight and kill monsters,
Right.
so he knows where the
Oh
weak
right,
points
he
are.
does actually. He does say, "Oh, you're still moving without a head. You're some kind of monster."
And I did have a third interpretation. He was going for them boobs. Okay, I'm done. I won't say boobs again.
I don't believe you. No one else does either.
We're just waiting. We're waiting for you.
He'll tire himself out.
What do you think we are, Goku?
And I
Ian?
think all of this is to say, like, whoever built this android really knew how to do it.
Yeah.
You know, really knew how to build something that lasted.
Well, yeah, like
Oh,
if,
yeah.
if I had to imagine them, they'd probably have like a long, wispy gray mustache.
Go on. You have any more descriptors?
You know what? Not anything that I don't want to tell you over the airway. I don't.
Yeah, do we need to beep at all? Does any of that need to be beeped? I don't know.
I don't think that needs to be.
Okay.
I think everybody who's listening to this probably has seen the show before.
So yeah, I mean, there's not too much after this. I think I really want to talk about.
There's
Ninja
one thing.
Murasaki.
There's one more
Oh,
gag.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
one thing I have to talk about still.
Oh yes, me too. I think it's probably the same thing.
All right, say it at the same time.
You want to?
Let's go for it.
3, 2, 1.
His
Battery's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They bring him down.
Maybe we should have
Charged-
refilled the
not
batteries.
charged them since
I
last
remember
spring.
they did it a year and a half ago.
But it's like so Goku didn't defeat him. He just ran out of time. So
lucked out.
so Goku also could have just run around in a circle for that amount of time, and then the batteries would have died.
My interpretation of it was that fighting helped makes the
drain
batteries.
them.
Yeah, like when you have your iPhone on full
Right, of
brightness. Yeah, so
full brightness. And
they just
fight a
assumed he
child
would
mode.
never fight somebody who was that good at fighting back. So they didn't recharge his batteries. But still, it's a crazy thing
Yeah.
that he mentions at the end.
And it's very dismissive of Goku. It's like,
Yeah.
well, he would have kept going, but his batteries must have
Which
died.
I guess had
all of
no
that damage
hands.
had nothing
He
to
had
do.
no hands, no head. He could have beat him.
Why are you keeping your murder robot just in a tower and not using it to find said Dragon Balls?
That's true.
He's got the pockets.
General,
He's got the pockets
He's
of the
got
balls.
he's got at least 7 pockets. I think this is just
It's a waste of resources.
Yeah, I think
And we just
General,
found out he could have put him in his head if he needed to. It was a useless head.
General Red has some thinking to do about his organization.
About his bat. Well, that bat cat, it seems like a full-time job.
Bat
taking care
cat.
of.
That's a perfect way of describing that thing.
Yeah.
We've been trying to describe it for like 5 episodes.
The devil, Satan incarnate,
Purple grimace.
my ex. Am I right?
Oh boy.
the depression
Homina,
that's
homina.
eating away at my well-being, right, guys?
Ooh.
He took out my eye, and, he's no longer with us. What? Do you mean he died, or he left because that was rude for you to have your cat take out my eye?
So after the batteries, there's some setup for the next episode.
Yeah.
Right.
Where we can
He's going to fight
assume
the ninja.
That he defeats General
Master
White,
Sergeant.
the ninja, and then goes on to the next thing, all in
Right.
just the single next episode.
Going
that
up.
single next episode.
And finds all 7 Dragon Balls.
And he wishes for Bulma to have a boyfriend. I hope
Sorry,
he's just better than
Yamcha.
Yamcha.
And Sano cleans up her milk.
Next time on Dragon Ball.
It's just a half hour of chores. I
Wow,
hope
this
he's.
is staining really surprisingly well.
You'll catch your death in here.
I hope he's okay.
And then I just want to maybe we can get some audio on Ninja Morisaki's exit.
Oh yeah, it's pretty unnecessary.
Yeah, that's all I was. All right, let's get there.
So like,
Let's take it back a bit because
rewind that.
so we are moving through this frame by frame.
You know, okay. So I have.
He's like a Ghastly with a human face.
That's exactly right, John. Or you know how the trainers that had a bunch of Ghastlies also kind of look like the Ghastly, so he looks like a trainer that has a bunch of Ghastlies.
Oh yeah. So
Or even I could even tell you the gym. I was a Pokemon nerd. Cujo,
What?
wasn't
This
that
is
the
not
Cujo,
the
the
place
poison
for
gym
you.
leader? The poison gym leader,
Oh,
Cujo.
yeah.
Doesn't he look like that guy? Maybe that's just all ninjas looking like him. I'm racist.
Cujo was a ninja, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Yes.
Cujo
They're both ninjas,
was
yes.
a ninja.
Ba-da.
Was a good friend of mine.
All right, so we're going frame by frame for Ninja Morisaki's exit.
Yes.
Thank you, John. Like, talk about unnecessary. He was standing still. It cuts to a shot of the door, and then in comes a from I'm guessing the ceiling. He jumped
Yeah.
from the ceiling.
TFW, you realize you haven't done enough setup to make the next battle seem like it's worth it to take. Oh, we got to show that he's fast.
I think maybe the logic was he uses the ceiling to propel off of a surface so that he can get even faster. If I had to put logic to it, right?
I think
so
the
like he
logic
uses
was-
surfaces to propel to make himself go even.
Right.
I understand that if you're trying to cover a large distance, but he's literally walking what I can assume is 10
this was my
feet.
point about the starry effect earlier that you did not support me on.
I have a non-fun theory,
Okay, go ahead, Aaron.
and that this was probably cheaper to animate than walking to the door.
Him walking?
Yeah. Oh, we got to coordinate all those legs. Fuck that. Just make them blurry. Because you look at the freeze frame, it's like someone spilled purple and black.
This one looks This looks like a frame somebody could have up in their like Beverly Hills mansion.
Here's my
Oh my
dragon.
god, what is that?
Oh wow, I love the expressionism. That's a thing people say.
Oh yeah, is that I don't
It's my Monet of Ninja Murasaki.
I believe it's Monet.
Ninja Murasaki is my muse.
Sounds like a pretty BA.
So he jumps into
DJ.
frame,
Headed
lands on
towards
the ground,
safe
headed
door.
towards the door. Then he jumps from that to a table.
Table
Yep.
From
pretty
the
solid
table.
Again,
to a
surfaces.
printer.
No, he jumps up to the ceiling.
Someone tried with that frame.
Yeah, they try. There's a bit more
There's a little bit of an outline.
There were-
detail.
yeah.
Then from the ceiling to the floor, he opens
Open
the
the
door,
door,
and then
and
jumps
then-
to the ceiling again.
And then was he born in a barn?
because Ian's right, he
Because,
doesn't close it.
Yeah. Again, if your whole mission is to protect this place, close the door behind you.
Is it? I think
Don't
it's to
announce
keep-
yourself to the intruder. Send all the guards to the first floor to attack him together, and don't close the door behind you when you leave the safe space. Just general.
Well, okay. Is it to
advice.
attack? Is it to protect this tower? Because it was my understanding that it was to protect he which has been kidnapped in the tower.
Okay, well, that person is in the tower, and it's the same difference, John. If you're protecting the tower, you're protecting the
okay.
person in the tower.
I am wondering why they're not just like, oh, this kid's here for a prisoner. Let's move the prisoner.
In the
Problem
time that they were gloating over the Schwarzenegger battle, they could have just like helicoptered the prisoner.
Put him in a
For
robot.
sure. Absolutely. Have a robot fly him away.
Yeah.
Because that goes so well in the snow.
Guys, that's it.
I think that's
We
it.
did
yeah.
it.
All right.
That's it.
Wait, did we do it in a reasonable amount of time?
Oh, I can guarantee
yeah, we
you
did.
not. We did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's better. It's a little longer than we like, but
Did
that's
we?
fine.
Did we?
At the top of the tower. And General White is making sure there's plenty to stand in his way. Watch out, Goku. Ninja Murasaki is coming.
That's it.
Oh, they don't cut back to Sano?
No. Nobody cares.
They do in mine.
They do?
The lash.
The very last
The
shot?
very
let's make
last
sure they don't
scene.
miss
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see.
Let's find out, won't we?
Let's take a look. Oh, they do.
Yep.
Right. She's got her.
And
Oh,
she's
you
in
forgot
balls.
about
Just to be
Snow.
clear, Snow's in balls. Tower's a dick. Snow's in balls.
Right.
Check it out. Look for
Psychic.
yourselves.
She's psychic.
She's psychic.
She senses.
Are we gonna?
she feels.
Yeah. There's that.
She's got a bit of The Shining.
And then we get a great dick shot.
Do you think? Yeah.
Right down
it's
the
actually
hole.
the least dick shot of the tower that we've seen so far. Like it looks least like a dick.
It's a barbell.
If I'm being honest,
Oh,
I see that.
now we get it. It's a barbell with gray hairs all over.
Gentlemen, will
It's a
Sano
dick.
melt for Goku?
That's not worth our time.
You're gonna have to. But what is worth our time is
Oh, you're not gonna let? I'm just gonna say it looks like a giant rook, and so I think we're gonna go to all the different chess pieces in all the future episodes, and every chess piece is gonna have a tower of guards. Okay, that
Well,
was
I
not
just
worth
need
it.
to
to find out if Ian's correct. That means you have to listen to every other episode of this podcast.
Kame
going forward.
House Party with Vince White and Aaron.
Shelton.
That's what I said.
Oh, Ian, your voice changed a little bit there, but you got it.
It sounded tolerable for once.
So
You're no relation to Bill Shelton, are you?
You're no relation to Blake
Do you know
Shelton,
a Bill
are you?
Shelton that lives in Memphis, Tennessee? Because he used to drink a bunch of Bud Lights and try and kiss my mom goodnight every Friday.
Try and kiss your mom goodnight?
Yeah, they would have the weirdest little peck, and my mom kept insisting it was not her boyfriend, but they would peck.
Wait, is this
and-
real?
Yes.
Because it sounded like a country song.
Nope, Bill Shelton.
They would drink a bunch of Bud Lights
Oh, yes.
and try
He
to
would-
kiss
he
her
would
goodnight.
he would drink 10 to
Friday.
15 Bud Lights and
Now,
then
Bill,
drive
you've
home
been trying
in
to
his
kiss me each week.
To be fair, that means he was well hydrated if he drank a bunch of Bud Lights.
Huge slam on Bud Light.
You know, my mom has had worse boyfriends since, so we don't need to dwell on it. Anyway, so no relation?
No.
Good. I still like you. That's all. I just wanted to
You were
still
going
like
to
you.
judge him on his kin? Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, then
On
I'm
Bill
a terrible
Shelton?
person.
Absolutely.
Because none of my family is really, not none of them, but none of my close family is. Sorry, guys.
Look, speaking of family, we want all you to be a part of our podcast.
Oh, there you go. Transition.
smooth.
Thank you for having us on.
Yeah,
Of
this
course,
was super
sincerely.
fun.
This is plug time. We'll guess first. Whatever the fuck you want to plug. Any social medias you want to promote?
Any shows coming up?
Well, the Ian Herrin Improv Hour is on Facebook, and that's also the Facebook page for our podcast. If you care to get updates on our podcast, which you can also subscribe to on iTunes, the Ian Herrin Improv Half-Hour, and leave us a nice review because that helps us too. And we just do sillies, and Vince is on the show all the time. John's literally on the show all the time.
Yeah, so
apologies
if
about
you
that.
can't really tolerate Ian, like Vince or me will be there to
That's
set
right.
it straight.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah. So that's good. Thank you guys for having me. I really am a big fan of the show, so I was excited to do this.
It's so fun.
I'm trying to catch up on the pod as well. I don't have as much listening hours as I'd like in the day, but I'll also swing by and catch the. When's this going to be released?
April 4.
April 4th. Okay, so in about
2017.
10 or 11 days, swing by if you're in New York, which I don't think probably everyone is. From what I heard before we started recording, swing by Reckless Theater for the live Bachelorette. It'll be a romping good time, and yours truly may be a contestant.
Oh, yes.
Will I find true love? It's about time if I do.
A very fun, exciting show you should go see, John. And then Vince, John, and I all have shows that we do together, live shows that we do together as well, including one at Legion Bar.
Right, April 14th, which is before the thing I just plugged. So that'll be fun. Vince and I will host, and Ian will also
Dick around.
He'll dick around and then fuck with us at the end. Can I say that? I didn't say it the whole time until now.
What time does that show start, John?
That show is at Legion Bar in Williamsburg at 6:30
6:30.
p.m. on the
And
Friday.
also the thing that my Facebook page is, the Ian Herrin Improv Hour. That's also a live show. That's at the Pit Loft, usually the first Sunday of the month at 9:00, and that's a good time too. That's how we all got started and met each other and got to know each other, and eventually started hating each other.
That's true.
Yeah, I guess I would say that I greater than 3. You guys for letting me on.
Y'all, you guys are
so
wonderful. And now that I know that you're not related to Bill Shelton, I really do love everything you guys do. And fuck Bud Light. Also, memories.
I told you. I warned you all.
Thanks for
Technicality, no doubt, boo over right there.
Guys,
I want to promote our next live show,
April 12th.
April 12th. At
Oh,
the
you gotta
Pit
go to it.
Loft. The Eulogy, hosted by Daddy's Ghost. Ooh, a comedy variety show. Wait, isn't that our?
No, I'm correct. I'm shaking my head at. So Ian did the thing that the rest of our team has been trying to push for when we introduce ourselves. And I just fucking hate it for some reason. There's no rhyme or reason. I like spooky shit. But that bugs me for some reason. Yeah. Vince, continue.
April 12th, the comedy variety show. It's gonna be a banger of a show. I'm super excited about it.
No reaction.
We got a lot of great guests slated for that show. Some debut Daddy's Ghost sketch content, correct?
Something
like that.
Can you trickle out any little glimpse of either maybe a sketch that might be in the works or maybe a special guest that's coming up just to really get those people excited out there?
I'm going to say, if you like rap, we got a rap for you. There's this new hot rap group called the Girl Gang.
No, that's the name of the song, son.
I'm done.
We're on everything. Come find us. Please rate and review Kame House Party so more people can find the Poddingcast.
That's right.
That's it.
Aaron's got a great Instagram and Twitter. Instagram is Ajax Shelton, and on Twitter he's Aaron J. Shelton. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, PlayStation at VINT_E. I'm also on that Xbox if you're trying to beat somebody up in Halo 5. So.
I guess we're gonna plug Instagrams. Papua New Guinea Pig, guys. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
it's a
I got
great
some
name.
fun
Sure.
stuff there. Yeah.
John's got great content up there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, thank
At
you.
one point, John thought he was done and stood up and stepped away from the microphone.
Also, I hate
and then he
sitting.
heard.
I hate sitting. I've done entirely too much of it in a row.
Okay, but I was just gonna say you heard social media and was like, oh, I got to get back in.
I sat down and I took in what.
Hey,
these
Aaron,
people
Vince,
that
you
I-
guys can leave. We're gonna keep going another hour.
No, Aaron. So seriously, you're licensed by what school to practice psychology?
Not the state of New York.
Okay, cool. That's good.
That's
enough for
one
me.
true thing.
But we end every episode now with our favorite thing to say in unison.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, see, I gave it the caveats it needed.
All right.
Keep searching.
Oh, you guys are going to join? That's fine.
Oh, did you want us to? I thought that was your thing.
No, we're
that
done.
was good.
We're
That
done
was
now.
good.
Search on.